there as the rain stops falling. As we move it back to the start line, where it will be Louis Edwards to take on Jay Crouch. Jay Crouch starting to grow into the competition, but he's really up against it here.
He certainly is, but I would say that Jay Crouch, for the amount of driving he does in the wet around Europe, I think he's going to look good here in this battle with his car, perfectly set up. And look at this from Louis Edwards. It's absolutely up and gone. No messing around for Louis Edwards. And a puff of smoke there on initiation, so maybe you're right, Eddie. Track's starting to dry out in certain places. You can see Jay Crouch now shortcuts the track, trying to stay in the fight as Louis Edwards fires that BMW, that supercharged V8 through the power rally, flicks it back. This is apparently the driver saying ice out the back here, but Louis Edwards looks like he's driving with 110% confidence under his belt. What can Jay Crouch do? One last transition to go. A big rolling burnout for Jay Crouch, and it's looking very, very patchy there on the exit and up onto the wall.
Yeah, Louis Edwards, Ian, looking like he's driving on completely different conditions to every other driver out there. Like, hardly puts a foot wrong out there. Makes it look easy. Crouch gets really caught. I'm not. It's not like they leave the line at the same time. Just can't get the power down. Maybe that E36 chassis just, and the torque of the V8 just making it easier to get the power down for Louis Edwards. But I mean, from here, Crouch comes back into it. But just look at the line. No problems getting the power down, and it looks effortless for Louis Edwards right now. And I think you're right. Definitely the man to beat at the moment.
Yeah, certainly seems that way, that's for sure. We'll see what he's like in the chase, though, as we get him back end of the circuit and swap them around. I can see from here they're on the start line, ready to rock and roll as our judges just watch back that replay. And, I think you're right, Eddie. Some of these parts of the track are drying up more than others.
One thing to note, though, you can see as they come past the finish line, the line that they're on the way down the track, so anywhere where there's rubber, just looks to be really glassy. So just waiting to make sure the track is safe and clear for both drivers as Crouch now leads in Louis Edwards. I think this is going to tell a lot about the track conditions, but also the mindset of Louis Edwards. Look at the aggression, Ian. Absolutely incredible. So brave from Louis Edwards as he throws caution to the wind, gets right up on the back bumper of that S15 as they initiate, nice and tidy in the pocket as they come around by the grandstand, and no one has been this close in the chase position, wet or dry, at all this afternoon, and Louis Edwards making it look easy for Jay Crouch. Just about gets away with it, but that's a huge mistake. Looks good and made it work, but a huge mistake. But look, no shaking Louis Edwards, who's on absolute rails at the minute. Crouch takes it across the line. Goodwood makes some noise for Louis Edwards and Jay Crouch. Really impressive stuff.
Unbelievable stuff there, and I thought there was going to be serious contact. Just goes to show you, though, the level of talent from Louis Edwards, because he was a man possessed. Look at this on the start line. Jay Crouch full throttle. Look at Louis Edwards tapping the brake to slow the car down. Initiates before Jay Crouch, and you can show bringing that fight, bringing that aggression. The initiation almost really dry up onto the wall there. As look at it, Edwards fires in, keeps wheel to wheel, doesn't let the car check up at any point. Stays on angle and keeps pushing Jay Crouch. Here for me is the big part, the standout moment. Jay Crouch fires his car in, gets super loose, puts the car on big angle, but Louis Edwards deals with it. Look at this, slows the car down, then puts the front wheel on the door of Jay Crouch's S15 and keeps drifting. Unbelievable talent from Louis Edwards in that BMW.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to find the words, Ian, because because it's wet and it's slow and it doesn't look overly spectacular, but the level of control that he has over that car is just quite phenomenal. And the judge's decision is in, and no surprises. It looks as though moving on to the top four. Give it up for Louis Edwards.
Yeah, Louis Edwards gets the win, and we fire it down to Titch, who's down there with those two guys. What a battle, Titch.
Wow, what a battle that was, Jake. I could see the look on your face then when you came out there. You were like, oh, okay, yeah, this is happening.
Yeah, it's mad because here's not too bad. Once you get in there, you just if you're on too much angle, you just don't move. So even now, I'm probably doing 1 mile an hour, and I'm looking at here, and I'm I'm really sorry. I have nothing else I can do.
Guys, give it up for Jay Crouch. Now, Louis, I know you love wet drifting, and I know that you're fantastic at the wet drifting, and I know that when you came round that corner there on that lead run, you knew it was good because you gave me the nod as if to say, yeah, this is all right, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was good fun. a bit sketchy, like Jake said, but yeah, it is definitely a bit different.
Guys, give it up for Louis Edwards.
Wow, Louis Edwards, so calm.
Yeah, so calm and collected.